Hey, Delally. Alright, that's enough of that. Nice pair of meatballs. So, I got a new microphone. I needed to stream read about now, thanks. Oh, no problem. So I got a new microphone, so if I sound different, that's why. Let me... I should have done this while I was still setting up. I have to get the lorne, to get the drive open. Let's see, drive, and lorne, and Cordio, and Ramona. What? No way. Hopefully y'all don't hear me chewing while, with my new microphone. You hear me chewing? I was hungry. Eating a bologna sandwich. Let's see, is that too loud? No. Okay. I need to get, like, a stand for this thing, but for now it's just kind of sitting on my desk. It's Noxious Butt Spray! And Scarlet! My girl Scarlet! Baloney. What call are you playing? So last time I streamed, I did part 1 of the therapist call. So I figure, I'll just keep doing more of the therapist call. Spencer, hey girl, Spencer! So let me get this loaded up. Hey Andy! Yeah, here's my frog being dumb. Are you a therapist too? Yeah, this is, by the way, my frog is so big that this is like a dog dish. Like I used a dog bowl for him. Because he's just a big boy. Let me get this loaded up. No, I don't want to open it up on there. I want to open it with VLC. Excuse me, I am just gross. All I do is burp on my streams. Alrighty. Just got that queued up. Got my chat queued up. Got my microphone, seems to be working well, so... Okay, let's get started.
But why would you say it's immaterial? But I am shocked at that, though, that you don't think he can do it. But why do you say it's immaterial?
Candidly, you know, I love the word candid. I use it all the time. So candid.
Candidly.
Because if I had the promise of a beautiful girl like you coming...
Can you hear me burping? Yeah, this is like still RoboPope, so forgive the call audio. That's on the recording, so. Oh my god, Mr. Genus? Like Mr. Genus?
to visit me on her dime, I would stop drinking for 3 months too. But that's not a reason to do it. That's not a good reason to do it. If that's the only reason he's doing it, that's a bad reason. You see what I'm saying?
But how do we know that he's not doing it for himself and like that he's not?
Because he would have done it already. Why?
No lie, my lunch right now consists of mac and cheese.
Why hasn't he done it already? That's why. Because if it's something that he genuinely understood to be a good thing and a positive thing that he should do, he wouldn't have those problems. He would already have dealt with. He's 47 years old. He's had his whole life to get himself together, and he still hasn't done it.
Because, I mean, I think he's doing it for himself and not because of his probation officer.
Then why didn't he do it before? Why is he 47 and still having to work these issues out for himself?
Because he's a big old baby. That's why.
Well, I mean, because like his.
The older we get, the harder it is for us to change. And I think there's a point in no return for every person, and it's different for every person. But I'd say if somebody at the age of 47 is still exhibiting the same dangerous, unhealthy, self-destructive, abusive behavior they've always exhibited, and what hangs in the balance in compelling them to change is your well-being, that's not a good bet for you under any circumstances. You see what I'm saying? In other words,
fucking Pope Pendleton over here. I swear he might actually be a therapist. He's given some pretty good advice. I mean, I know it's shit that we all probably could think of, but I wouldn't be able to think of it on the spot while Lorne is still on the line, probably throwing a temper tantrum.
An awful lot is riding on Lorne finally getting it right at 47 when he's never been able to get it right before. Now, if I was a basketball player and I took 100 shots and I missed them all, and the game was on the line, and you're the coach, and you've got one last play to run, and if we make the shot, we win, and if we miss the shot, we lose, and I missed the last 100 shots, are you going to give me the ball?
No, but here's the thing, though.
Probably not.
If, like, I mean, and again, I don't have reason to believe that this is why he's doing it. I mean, you might think differently. I don't know, but
God, I love Ramona. I wonder what she's up to now. I miss her.
I think maybe it's that he needed a push, and I think he got the push because, to make a long story short, his probation.
To make a long motherfucking story short, I lost a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. Have y'all seen that? Hold on. I'm gonna derail the stream for 2 seconds to show y'all that. Let's see. Pull this over here. Let's see. Window capture. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Hold on, let me figure it. Here we go.
I said, excuse me, motherfucker. Do you like jelly beans? He was like, yeah, but not the black and the green ones. Motherfucker, who said I had Easter jelly beans? To make a long fucking story short, I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. And it's 24 hours later and I ain't find none yet.
Like what? Why? I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. Oh, God. I just thought I should tell y'all about that so that I don't seem like I'm actually putting jelly beans up my ass. Tiffany Lockhart is my favorite. I love Tiffany Lockhart because she always tells Lorne to fuck off. Lorne will find those jelly beans. See, I fucking love. I could deal with Winnie all fucking day. I love her insanity. It's great.
Officer found out that he was still drinking, and that was one of the terms of his release, is that he's not supposed to be drinking, and she found out that he was still drinking, and he was given...
I mean, do you understand that none of these things you're telling me do him any favors in terms of convincing me that this is a good bet for you?
No, but here's this though. Okay, so she
the jelly beans blanked her blank. I fucking love you guys.
I'm sorry.
His own probation wasn't enough to keep him clean. His relationship with you doesn't seem to be enough to keep him clean. This guy's not going to get clean.
But here's why it could be different. So because so she, long story short, she found out that he's still drinking, and she made him sign a paper saying that he won't have any.
All right, so how long do you think it took Lauren to sign that paper? Because I just get the image of him not being able to fucking write. Okay. L. Let's see. O. Shit, how do you spell Lorne?
Like drinks or any alcohol. He can't even have NyQuil. He can't go in a bar. He can't be around alcohol at all whatsoever. And I think he said for the next 4 weeks or 4 months, I can't remember. 4 weeks. I 4 6 out, but I can't remember if it was 4 weeks or 4 months. She said that she, meaning her probation officer team or whatever, can stop by his house any minute, up to 4 times.
Asshole! My boy Asshole is here! Yeah, I'm precious.
A day, so maybe that's where I got 4. But no, I think it was 6 months. Okay, I think it was 6 months. He can't have any. He can't have any alcohol. He can't even have NyQuil. He can't. I mean, he probably can't even have Listerine.
Yo, thinking about the fact that Cal my girl, my precious little princess Cal. So just thinking about the fact that, like, Lorne can't even have Listerine. He can't even have NyQuil. Like, what the? Lauren's life is so fucking stupid. I swear to God. You can't. If he's having a really stuffy nose, he's just got a fucking deal. His life sucks. His life sucks so bad. Like, I mean, I rarely go out and get NyQuil. Oh, excuse me. The only time I really use it is if I have, like, a cold, honestly. And Lauren just has to fucking suffer. Oh. It's kind of a fitting punishment for him. He tried to fuck a kid, so he always has to have the discomfort of a cold.
And that's for the next 6 months. You know, not being in any bars or around anyone drinking. And she said that they can stop in his house up to 4.
Yo, he had the not being around people drinking provision way back in Ramona, and he didn't fucking follow it. He's probably gonna. I guarantee he's gonna be back in jail sometime this year, or knowing how 2020 is going, he probably won't go back in jail. But he's gonna end up in jail, and poor Mama Gwen is gonna have to truck her way over there to fucking take care of the dogs and take care of the fucking chickens, because Lorne has chickens now. If these are recent photos, Lorne's looks have improved immeasurably. Oh, God. Daddy's Thursday. That's an insult to my frog.
Times a day, at any time, and breathalyze him and take him to jail if he's violated it. And maybe that was the push he needed.
If that's what he needs, all of those. I mean, listen to what you say. All of these conditions, all of these measures.
Got it. Okay, asshole.
That law enforcement has to take, because he just won't stop doing it. And you're trying to establish all these conditions for him, and these incentives and ultimatums, and this is indicative of a deep.
Oh, you're okay, Daddy's Thursday.
Problem of a deep personal issue that he has with alcohol. And professionally, as a therapist, I have to say, of course, it's possible for anyone to change, and he needs to get there. But if my concern is your well-being and your safety, what I'm looking at is a guy who just can't stop doing it.
I mean, we all know this, but Pope Pendleton is right. Lorne went to fucking prison, and he's still probably drinking. Like, we don't know for sure, but he's Lorne. He's not gonna fucking change. Or at the very least, I imagine he'll probably be a lot more cautious now. Like, he'll probably lock his doors while he drinks.
And there's no way that I can recommend that as a safe or positive.
Though, if he can't hang out with people who drink anymore, that means he can't hang out with Roy. And that probably fucking sucks for Lorne, too, because, he, like, always made himself to believe he was better than Roy, which, come on, we all know that Roy is the better brother there. But, yeah, like, what's he gonna do when he can't think he's better than somebody?
Healthy situation for you to be in. And that is to say nothing of the other aspects of it. Because when he gets drunk, he becomes abusive. Verbally, that you know of. What is the line between verbal abuse and physical abuse? When you're drunk, everything's blurry, right? Including the line between verbal abuse and physical abuse. And all of that is to say nothing of the fact that he has clearly some sexual issues. He's a convicted sex offender. He's someone...
Roy is the better Homo sapien in general, Scarlett. God, you know what? Fuck you, Lorne. I hope Roy gets, like, a super hot girlfriend. I hope Roy gets married. I mean, I know Roy was married before, but that's, like, a whole, like, situation that was weird. I hope Roy gets married and kicks his alcohol addiction and gets a really high-paying job. And Lorne is just in the trailer of failure.
In doing my research on him, I learned that that there were other girls that he talked to during the same time period.
I have a question about the registered sex offender, because he and I had...
Yeah, that's like the... Yeah, Euro, that's the joke of my stream. Everybody gets a wrench in my mom's stream and nobody gets it here. There is one person with a wrench, and that's Mini Syllables, because she's my dad.
Talked the other day, and I don't know how much you know as far as, like, the law is concerned and that kind of thing. But we were talking to that girl. I don't know, honestly, I don't know if he and her are still friends. Her name is Ember, and she played a role in me meeting him, but I don't know if they're still friends. They're, like, friends off and on. Like, one week they're friends, the next week they hate each other. So
Call Emma! Poor Babs has yet learned how to turn around. I mean, hey, she's better at, like, handyman shit than I am.
I have no clue where they stand. But we were talking to her, and he and I were talking to her, and we were talking about my friend, the surgeon who you know of.
The goddamn doctor.
He has a brother who is he has his doctorate. He's a doctor, a medical doctor, and a lawyer, and that's
doctor and a lawyer. It's pretty hot.
So that's because he takes on medical cases, so he has to understand it. Long story, he's explained it. It's insane the amount of degrees that the guy has, but he's also a lawyer, and Lorne came up with the idea that maybe he could like file, I don't know, an appeal or something, basically. And me, him, and Ember were talking about if we could appeal with this lawyer, and it probably wouldn't be this one only because since that's the doctor's brother, he would.
I mean, has it ever been stated, like, if the doctor hates Lorne or not? Oh, yeah, there you go, Euro. No, but, has it ever been stated that, like, if the doctor, like, likes Lorne, hates Lorne, doesn't really give a fuck? Because if he doesn't like Lorne, I can't see him being like, yeah, we'll have my brother help you. Or, who knows, the doctor's such a handsome, upstanding citizen, he probably would, even if he didn't like Lorne.
Would really, like, I don't think the doctor would appreciate him doing that for us, and plus it would be like the doctor doing a favor for a friend on his behalf, or on her behalf, on his behalf, either way. But anyway, or not the doctor, the lawyer rather. But basically, filing an appeal to get Lorne taken off of the sex offender registry. Could that happen?
Hey, Lorniak.
And so
no,
he wouldn't be a registered sex offender at that point.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on the law and on a situation like that. I can't speak to it with any authority. I will say that the legal standing is less important to me than his actions that prompted the legal standing. In other words,
the doctor's too busy taking Ramona out to dinner and touching her knees to care about a loser like Lorne. No, my God.
what changes about Lorne constitutionally if he's no longer legally required to register as a sex offender? Does it change the fact that he tried to pursue what he thought was a 13-year-old girl? Does it change the fact that he clearly has a predilection for younger girls? Does it change the fact... when I was reading this chat log, when I was doing my research on him...
Oh, yeah, he read the fucking chat log. I haven't heard this call in a while. I'm pretty sure he uses parts from the chat log against Lorne. It's pretty funny.
He talks about his nieces in very inappropriate ways. I don't know if you're familiar with the chat log.
I skimmed through it, but I don't think he, like, ever, like, had an attraction
I'm not saying,
to him.
Well, I'm not, it's not my place to say definitively one way or the other, but there certainly seems to be a tendency on his part to have an interest in the young girls. And I would say that continues to this day, and the evidence of that is that you're almost half his age. And when you combine that, this present situation with what
God,
we know
Ramona's
about
like
him
24, 25. Oh, she's younger than I am. Jesus.
His behavior and the things he said. I mean, this chat log was a compelling read. It was he goes to great efforts to manipulate what he thought was a child, and he's obsessed with her private parts, and he talks about all these things that he's going to do to her, and it's really disturbing. But he seems to have a real...
Yo, I want to read the chat log again sometime. I might... one of these days, I might follow in the footsteps of my mom and read the chat log.
Sexual urge to pursue youth.
But could it be, like, that he just needed a friend?
No. As I said, I don't know to what extent you're familiar with the conversation he had with this person.
Oh, Ramona.
The person that he thought was a 13-year-old girl turned out to be an agent, a decoy.
All right, if you heard any of me chewing, I'm done eating now.
But he, no, there's nothing in that conversation that the same night that he started talking to this person for the first time, he sent her pictures of his penis. Which
he really fucking did. That's what the thing that makes me the most angry about the fucking chat log is the whole time he's just like, you were curious. You want to see stuff, huh? Yum, 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 yum. And I'm like, Lauren, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, you fucking perv. Well, September isn't too far away. Good chance to read the chat log on the actual dates. I could do that. I could do what Mom did and read, oh, excuse me, on the actual days. What day does it start out? Hold on. About to crash my computer looking this up, but... Armstrong, chat... Damn it. Chat log. Yep, nope. Here we go. Lauren A. 20014. Oh my god. Okay, link to file. Gotta wait 20 minutes for us to load. It started on, let's see, September 17th. So I could do that. That's, 4 days after my birthday. Happy birthday to Kayla!
Night?
The same night, yes, ma'am. And he proceeded to do that every night of the conversation, which lasted, or every night of the...
God, I fucking hate you, Lauren. God. I just hate Lauren. Like, thinking about the chat log makes me fucking mad. Like, when I was listening to the stream that my mom did with Danny G, when, they were listening to Little Miss Know-It-All, and Lauren basically admitted that he was jerking off to Kayla. That makes me really fucking mad. Like, I feel like Winnie in that call, where Emma actually just kind of drops the act and screams at Lauren.
Ongoing dialogue with this person, which lasted over a month. Every night, hundreds of pictures of his penis. And he talked about the things he was going to do to her, and talked about making her perform oral sex on him. And
do you want me to wear shorts so you can touch my penis in the truck? Ah!
He I believe that he.
Okay.
He talked about he said he wanted to take pictures of them naked together, and he wanted to take pictures of his penis inside her vagina, and it's really disturbing stuff, you know, and certainly, I mean, not...
And think about it, like, Lauren... Hi, Griefwell! Hi! Fucking Lauren, like, he's so obsessed with everybody forgetting his past, but it's like, how can you forget that? Like, how does he expect people to forget this fucked up shit he did? Like, yes, it wasn't a real child, but he thought it was. He did this with the thought that this was a real child, and it's just... Oh, it makes me so fucking mad. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna show you my penis every day. Would you like to see me naked? Like, no, a 13-year-old doesn't want to see you naked, stupid. Shut up. Go away, you fucking freak.
The kinds of things that are just troubling to say the least. You know, these are the things that as I said, if you don't know these things about him, then maybe this is shining some new light on him from your perspective, and that's good.
I honestly did not know. I honestly didn't know he sent pictures every night. I didn't know it was that many pictures.
Oh yeah. And you know, asked her to do the same for him. Wanted to. He was going to buy her a camera. I know that. I don't remember. I looked at the police.
I wonder if I'll get in trouble for putting this on the.
I don't remember if he brought her a camera
stream,
or not. But his intent was to. She didn't have a camera at her computer at her house. So his intent was to bring her a camera so that she could then send him naked pictures.
If the stream gets cut out, you know why. Hold on.
I mean, these are all things he said in the chat. So it was very, and as I said, he talked about his nieces in, I don't want to
I
say,
have two nieces your age.
Outright inappropriately, but suggestively, I'll put it that way. He talked about how...
Let's see if I get in trouble for putting this on here. I'll make it really small.
He wanted his nieces wanted him to buy them sexy shorts, and he agreed, and it made him feel good that they asked him to do that. Really, very just...
It's shifting the blame at every opportunity. It's like, this because of this, so what if I do it? Others have done worse. Me, no... Yeah, exactly. Like... Oh my god. Like, Lauren... Lorne just makes me really fucking mad. Like, if y'all can't tell, Lorne just makes me so goddamn angry sometimes.
Disturbing. And these are the, kinds of things that. So he like when he was on the phone with us, he got mad because I keep bringing
The
these
stream
things
hasn't
up.
seemed to
But
die,
when you hear
so.
these things and you read these things, how can you not? I mean, this is a pattern of behavior. These aren't things that a person does extemporaneously or as whimsy. These.
I mean, obviously, we all fucking hate Lorne, but I put this little picture down there as a reminder of some of the things he was doing. I can't put his little crop circles on the screen, but I could put that on there, it looks like.
Sure. These are things that are indicative of a consistent and established.
Lorne really rumbles. Yeah, same. Scarlet, it's just like when it comes down to it, like, yeah, him being a drunk asshole is like funny and stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, like, he just makes me fucking angry. How's the driver one? Yo, terrible.
Thought process. So that's very telling. That kind of information is very important when we're evaluating a person's tendencies.
Can I make this smaller? I'm gonna make it really small.
Like this. These are important things, and it doesn't matter that they're
like
that they
Where's
happened
Waldo,
10 years
but
ago.
Lorne's bot.
Because what is he, 47? So 10 years ago he was 37. So he's still a grown
37
man. And,
today.
Certainly should have some level of self-possession, and he is therefore obviously culpable for his actions. He did his time. I understand that, but none of that. I'm not concerned about any of that. I'm concerned about.
I'm looking in the folder that has these pictures. The same picture as Lorne, like the same folder as Lorne's bot, and it's just where's Baldo? I like how they took a picture of his apartment. If y'all look in the drive, they took a picture of his fucking, like a screenshot of his apartment. Oh god, oh that fucking computer chair. It's probably covered in ass sweat and jizz and just
And about tendencies and behavior and themes and actions and behaviors that repeat themselves, that manifest themselves over and over again. If I had to speculate, I'd say he still has some of those same unresolved sexual issues. Now, he says he's seeing a therapist, and maybe he is, and maybe that therapist is helping him work through those things, and that would be fine for him if that's the case. But my responsibility is to you, and what I'm telling you is that it doesn't benefit you to be in limbo in this relationship with this guy who may or may not be getting better, who may or may not be legitimately and diligently and sincerely working on the issues to get better. But, worst case, he's not going to get any better, and obviously that's a disaster for you. Best case, maybe he'll get better someday. But where does that leave you? You've got to wait. And in the meantime, continue to be in a dysfunctional relationship with a guy who's almost twice your age, who's not established financially, doesn't have any prospects in that regard, couldn't provide for you. It's great that you can provide for yourself.
Lorne hung up on Tiffany once because he made fun of the crap shack he lived in during 2007. It's so bad. He's got all these I mean, I can't talk. My fucking bedroom is a goddamn mess because it's just, I have so many clothes that I don't have space for, so they just kind of end up everywhere. But holy shit, like, at least I'm not living in a Bud Hair apartment. Like, I don't think Lorne ever fucking vacuums. Ever. Never, ever.
But what if you have to provide for him, too? It's a good deal for him, but it's a terrible situation for you. And that's to say nothing of all the risk there is for emotional abuse and heaven forbid if there's some recidivism on his part.
Oh, we all know Lorne is emotionally abusive. He'd fucking do it face to face, too. He's a fucking asshole. Oh, God, he just makes me so goddamn angry.
In terms of him falling back into bad behavior regarding children and his sexual proclivities for children. So
Now, I
there's
mean,
no
I'll be
upside
honest. I don't think too often about. I don't know. I don't think that I do.
At least you own clothes rather than just 2 or 3 baloney stained shirts and a pair of shorts. See, you say that, but I'm in a pair of shorts right now. I'm gonna dress as Lorne for Halloween this year. That's the scariest fucking thing. That's the scariest goddamn. How is the Crap Shack still standing? His original Crap Shack from 2007, I think they burned that down, or they demolished it or something, because there's just bed bugs everywhere. I have no idea how the trailer of failure is still standing, though. No, but I'll totally dress as Lorne for Halloween. I just have to go to Walmart and spend $5.
But I really don't think too often about his charge. I've just completely blocked it out of my head. And
end up on a list. Lorne also dresses as Lorne for Halloween. He wins first prize for creepiest costume over here. Oh, Chef Arms, send him to the moon in it. You guys are so fucking funny. Oh, God. Hey, Penelope! Griefwell, I'm gonna get arrested if I dress like it's Lorne. Sheriff's office, down! Get down! I should... Will you be probation officer, Lorne? I am a probation officer! I'm like, Is he trying to bluff, or did he actually think he was a probation? Like, he's a fucking drunk idiot. I hate him.
First question I'd ask you there is, why did you block it out of your head?
Because
You're thinking about it disturbing, right?
Because what you said?
Because thinking about it too much is disturbing.
Cyberbully!
Yeah, it's disturbing and uncomfortable, and I don't know how...
Hold on, I have a picture, so I need to look something up. Oh, God. Just... Hold on. I can find a picture. Is it... Oh, it's this. Here it is. Let's see. Save images. Save. And then I gotta bring this up on the screen. I am a probation officer. Making fun of those poor inadequate men who want to stick it in children. Let's see. Add a new source. Image. This is all I do is just add new fucking pictures to the goddamn stream. Let's see. Who was texting me? Somebody tried to call me. Please. Oh, it's my fucking dentist's office. They're always calling me to try to schedule shit. Take care of your teeth, y'all, or you end up with a mouth like mine. Cyber, your laugh is great. You might be my new favorite Lorne caster. Oh, thank you, Griefwell. Let's see if I can fit this to screen. Here I am, asshole. Sergeant, tell me this, Sergeant. Why is this happening this way, Sergeant? Oh, God. Yeah, this is me. This is me. I'm the cyber bully. I'm cyberbullying Lorne. Oh, God. Alright, let me your Froggo's home is way cleaner than Lorne's. They look way more happy and comfortable, too. Oh, thank you, Scarlett. he's probably a more productive member of society than Lorne is, because he's not showing his penis off to underage frogs. Frog Tadpole. That was the world's worst movie. I know. That's immediately what I thought of, though, when you called me a cyberbully. Bribe him with a deck of men. God damn it.
Justified, so I just don't think about it ever. I just ignore it and just pretend like he didn't do it.
Before we get back to this call, I'm looking through... Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm looking through, the screenshots from the Preferred Justice sting. And on Lorne's MySpace profile, next to his picture, it says, "I am who I am. Your approval isn't needed." It's so fucking stupid. He's posting like teen girl shit. CNN cyberbully squeaked. I have to make an apology video to Lorne now. Because I'm cyberbullying him. Oh, and then... So continuing on Lorne's, I almost said Facebook, Lorne's MySpace profile, so, first off, it says, "I got my MySpace layout at hermyspacelayouts.com. Is that even a thing anymore? Hold on. I'm getting really off the rails here, but hermyspacelayouts.com. No, it doesn't exist anymore. I'm a 36-year-old male, single. I don't have any kids, but do want kids. I love kids." That's the line that got me. I'm like, well, you sure do love kids, Lorne. "I own my own business. I'm a nice guy if you get to know me, and don't like filling out these things. So that's all I'm putting on here for now." That's how you fucking know. That's how you fucking know that he... That's how you fucking know that, like, he has, like, zero personality. Because usually people who fill it out, like, I mean, look, you don't have to go in depth in your fucking profiles. But if you're one of those people, when I was online dating, like forever, what was it, like 2 years ago now, when I met Mr. Cybersqueak? So, before I met Mr. Cybersqueak, I would, date online, because I'm a big old lame ass. No, but seriously, and every time I would see a profile that said, like, "I don't like filling these out," and, like, they would message me, they would be literally the most boring people on the fucking planet. And I was just like, I cannot. Because it's just like, you're trying to impress somebody, entice somebody to message you for your dating, like, just based on your dating profile. And I know it's not the best way to get to know somebody, but if you're just putting, "I'll like filling these out," then you're not going to get anybody. You're not going to get married and have kids, Lorne.
Well, we have a term for that in the field of psychology. It's called denial.
Ooh, Lorne's zodiac sign is a Libra.
A person can do for their mental health. The worst thing that you can do is ignore.
I gotta read this message. "When MySpace motto takes your life too far." There's my Chris Hansen impression.
Troubling behavior, red flags, as though they aren't there, as though they don't exist.
But
that is the recipe for disaster. I'll tell you right now.
But since I don't know how to justify it, like, I mean,
you can't justify it.
And so
How
that's
can you
why I
justify
just don't. I don't think about it. I pretend like it never happened.
That's denial. That's denial. You're trying to pretend that reality doesn't exist. And
Frog Lorne likes to rib it off
because there's an energy that goes along with that. When you repress.
It's okay, Scarlett. You're definitely. I can guarantee that you're 500 million times better than Lorne.
You're concerned for those things, and you pretend those things don't exist. It's
oh my
not
God.
like they actually go away.
I'm sorry. I I know that this was supposed to be me doing the therapy call, but I found another one of Lauren's, like, little blurbs about himself. About me. I'm 5'8", which I think is more like... I think he's actually, like, 5'6", so I'm, like, the same height as Lauren. Weigh 175, athletic build, brown hair, blue eyes, brown hair on his asshole, maybe. I love being outside during the summer, have barbecues. I like snowmobiling, skiing, boating, camping. I like dogs, cats, and horses. I own a septic and construction business. I love to sing country music, and I'm a romantic guy that also loves to have fun. That's about all I can think of right now. I don't know why I find his fucking MySpace profile so funny. It just is. I don't think Lord and I are compatible. I'm a Scorpio. I share a birthday with O.J. Simpson and I haven't killed my wife yet.
Excuse me. They just sort of sit dormant in your subconscious, but they've got to be dealt with. And if you don't deal with them at the conscious level, eventually they manifest themselves when you least expect it. And by the time they do, they've almost grown in power. They've become organisms unto themselves. I don't know if that makes sense for you. You've got to be able to deal with those things head on. You are too young and too smart and too beautiful, and you have too much potential and too much to offer the world to
He's 5'8" heels.
By keeping yourself in an unhealthy relationship where you have to pretend that aspects of this guy don't exist while he continues to engage in...
Wait, hold on. So this picture is really blurry. I'm sorry for that, because it's from like a... It's from a YouTube thumbnail, but it gets the point across. Hold on. So... he really is like 5'6", 5'7". Hold on. Because if you look at this picture... Did it not? Hold on. Let me figure it. If you look at this picture of Lorne... So it looks like the way they're doing it is... So obviously there's the foot marker. And then this is like for half. So it'd be like 5'6". So he's literally the top of his bald old head. He's 5'7". 5'6". And I'm not saying if you're 5'6", 5'7", that like it's funny. The only reason it's funny is because it's Lorne. Because you know he's one of those guys who's like, I'm a big tough guy. But no, he's just a little fucking gnome.
Behavior that is not only self-destructive but dangerous for you. Emotionally and mentally, for sure.
But
the way you talk to yourself.
My nightmares mimic you scrolling Lorne's face larger.
Could be like the redeeming quality or the redeeming factor for him, you know, based on having this chat with the kid, is that he kind of like how I block it out and like I completely forget about it and don't think about it and pretend like it didn't happen. Could it be like he forgot about it and pretended that she wasn't 13, that maybe she was, you know, 20 or something?
That face does give people nightmares.
That's basically never the case when it comes to hebophiles, which is technically how we would classify Lorne.
You said
the term
hebephile?
Yeah, the term pedophile gets used a lot, but the term pedophile clinically actually refers to somebody who's...
Oh my god, hold on.
Much younger children.
Sorry, there's more. I found more of Lorne's MySpace. Alright, so, let's see. He's right-handed. For heritage, Lorne thinks he has an athletic build. What the hell kind of sports is he watching? He's probably watching golf. Your heritage, this and that. So he's white. The shoes you wore today, work boots. Alright. Your weakness, One woman. Is this like... I wonder if this is when he was talking to Kayla. This had to have been. So his weakness. Kayla. Your fears, not saying. here's how you know Lorne is a monster. You're perfect pizza, Hawaiian. Goal you would like to achieve this year. Get my house paid off. Most over your this is really fucking telling. Like I started reading this as a joke, but this is so ungodly telling. Your most overused phrase on an instant messenger. Are you going to talk to me yet? Lol. Like, oh, what the fuck? He's begging women to talk to him. Thoughts first waking up. One woman. Your best physical feature. I won't answer that because I'd sound stuck on myself. Lol. right, right, Scarlet Ebony. Lord is not cute and not built good. He's not. Your bedtime. Whenever I feel like going to bed. I thought your frogs had blonde skin. God damn it. Your most missed memory. Time with my family when I was little. I thought he fucking hated his family. Pepsi or Coke? Milk. The white staff. McDonald's or McDonald's or Burger King. I don't know why it's spelled that way. It's spelled M-A-C, like a Big Mac. He put Burger King. Single or group dates? Single because it's one-on-one. Lipton iced tea. Lipton iced tea or Nestea? Both. Chocolate or vanilla? Both. Cappuccino or coffee? Coffee. Do you smoke? Yes, but in the process of quitting again. Oh god, he was saying that since, let's see, it was 2007. Yeah. Even a little bit before he said that to the decoy, I imagine. Do you swear? Yes. Do you sing? Yes. Do you shower daily? Definitely. I have to or I feel like a pig. Have you been in love? Yes. Do you want to go to college? No. Do you want to get married? Yes. Do you... Single date because it's face to face. Do you believe in yourself? Yes, most of the time. Do you get motion sickness? No. Do you think you are attractive? Yes. Are you a health freak? That's fucking obvious. Do you get along? Oh, it cut part of that off. Big Mac or D Mac? Ever shoplifted? Nope. How? God damn, people are blowing up my phone today. You need to stop, Euro. You know what? I'm actually gonna answer that real quick. Hold on. Give me just a second. All right. Sorry about that. It was my doctor's office. They were calling to tell me that blood work I had submitted came back normal, so that's good. Um, what's Lauren's actual MySpace background? I hope it's something hipster like fucking cubes melting. Okay, so fun fact, his actual MySpace background, oh, hi, bless your heart. So Lauren's actual MySpace background, let me see if I can, hold on. Let me go back to, I gotta sort through all the penis pictures. So, Cyber, are you there? Please don't leave me. No, I'm back. So his MySpace background, I kid you not, is like a, let me see if I can find like a good picture of it. It's exactly what you would think it would be. Shit, I can't find it. Here, hold on. A frog tadpole. You better, you better get that dog out of our lives. You're gonna fucking lose me. Frog tadpole. Hey, Gorilla Spawn. His background on MySpace is like a NASCAR background with like Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's like Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, and then like up in the corner, it's like his face. Oh, God. Now the doctor, it was just a normal like physical blood work. I'm not like dying or anything. All right, so continuing to read Lauren's MySpace. So, how do you want to die? Having sex. Lol. Of course. Fucking course. He's a fucking freak. He answers these like a child. Or not even a child, like a fucking teenager. Hints of Amanda James still lingers. Yeah, exactly. What do you want to be when you grow up? A good dad and husband and successful. What country would you most like to visit? Australia. Watch out, Australians. He's coming for you. Favorite eye color, blue. Oh, in a girl. This is what he likes. Favorite eye color, blue. Favorite hair color, blonde. Short or long hair? Long hair. Height, shorter than me. Weight, 105 pounds to 140 pounds, so no fatties. Best clothing style, whatever. Number of drugs I've taken, none. Number of CDs I own, probably 10. I like the radio. Frog tadpole, I see nothing wrong with hopping or eating flies. God damn it. Number of things in my past I regret. I don't think Lauren understands what this part of the thing is. Don't know really, just all the stupid things I've done. Stay out of my goddamn country. This is when he was with Kayla. Who I'd like to meet. One very special woman on August 11th, 2007. I'm gonna play a bit of the call. I have to go to the bathroom. So I'll play some more of the call, and then I'll read more of Lauren's MySpace profile.
Somebody who's attracted to children at the teenage, someone who's 13, for example, is clinically classified. The term is hebephile. It's really an artificial distinction, basically. I mean, it doesn't change the severity of the condition, but it's almost never the case that's the impetus for the continued behavior. And in Lauren's case, it's certainly not the case, because reading the chat log, it's pretty clear that he is sexually drawn to younger girls, in the case of the chat, to prepubescent or just pubescent girls. But this is an established pattern of behavior. He talks at one point in the chat log about another kid, and he calls her a kid in the chat log. I'm not injecting that term. That's the word he used.
He did what?
Talks about there's a portion in the chat log where he had a it's not Facebook. What was the website before Facebook was popular? MySpace.
MySpace.
He had a MySpace. Yes. He had a MySpace page, and she looked at his MySpace page, and she noticed that there was another kid, like 12, 13, the same age range that she purported to be, and she asked him about this other kid that he had on his MySpace page, and he said, "Oh, she was my girlfriend before you." So,
what?
Yes, ma'am. So, Kayla, as he knew her in the chat during this thing, wasn't even the first teenage girl that he considered his girlfriend and pursued on the internet. And because this was a real girl, it wasn't a sting, so we don't have any record of what he may have said to her, pictures that he may have sent to her, grooming tactics that he may have tried to use on her.
Now,
So Kayla wasn't the first.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I know that sounds really bad because that kind of gives credence to the idea that it's a pattern. But could it be that that was his girlfriend? Kind of like, let me give you an example. Kind of like how, how. Okay, well,
I want to say,
I have the example. I have the perfect example. Okay, me and my cousins when we were kids.
Oh, I'm back. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Yeah, this is Pope Sam Gorilla Spawn. I'm gonna finally listen to MySpace Molly after this one. I need a drink to cope with it, guys. So it is gross, but it's not as gross as the chat log, to be honest. It's gross because it's a real person. Excuse me. A real child, God damn it, I should say. But it'll just make you more angry. You'll want more than one. You'll want one more than you'll need one. It depends on how hard you trigger. It's a trigger call for sure. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I've noticed that it mostly makes me really fucking angry at Lorne. I'm pretty good at blocking stuff out. I'll be okay. Okay, so now that I'm back, after I'm done, sucking on the horse stink and going to the bathroom so I can get proposed to by Lorne. So listen to MySpace. Yeah, exactly. You probably want to listen to somebody covering the MySpace Molly call. So, more about Lorne and his MySpace profile. Lorne's interests. General. Country music and getting my house done. Even though there's a section for music right under that. Music. Country. Now we're gonna get into Lorne's movies. Rocky 1 through 5, Steven Seagal movies, Legends of the Fall, Dumb and Dumber. I love how that's actually listed on there. Rambo movies, Cocktail, Robin Hood, Top Gun, Blue Crush, Far and Away, Lock Up. There's more, but too many to list. So these all seem to be movies that that Lorne has picked up. They have his, well, if I believe in you, then stuff will work out. It seems like those seem to be the overarching themes in a lot of those. If we kiss it, will it become a prince? The frog guy's the frog. I wrote. Oh my god. Oh god. That's why he knew this, so you say I have a chance. Not a prince, but an oak. Oh, let's see. Television. CMT, which is the country music, it's like country music, or I can't remember. It's like a redneck channel, I know that. CMT and the news. Doesn't Lorne, watch Family Guy now? Books, magazines. I don't need no reading. Here, we hear who his hero is. Heroes, my mother. He was raised by Maul. So I'm surprised that he did this on his status, like his relationship status, he put single. I'm kind of surprised, like I guess because he doesn't. Well, no, if he was trying to hide it, he wouldn't be putting shit like, uh, thoughts first waking up, one woman, your weakness, one woman, who I'd like to meet, one very special woman on August 11th, 2000. Like, he wouldn't be fucking saying that shit. Let's see, orientation straight. I'm not bi, I'm not gay. He's here for friends. He's from Cambridge. He's body type 5'8" and athletic. No, okay. Let's see. Children someday, education, high school, income, 100,000 to 150,000. Now, I mean, this is Lorne. He always lies. But with his septic business and his construction business, is that, like, do you think that's an accurate number, or do you think he's obviously, like, embellishing a bit? Like, it sounds a little bit like embellishment to me. I don't think he has any more. My precious princess. Oh, God. Hi, beautiful. When you check out my profile, look under all the hellos that are there, and you'll see an I am button. Click on that, and hopefully that will let you get to message me easier. I'm going to bed now. I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Precious. Moi. He wrote moi. M-U-H. Moi. And then he put a bunch of X's and O's. Hi, sweetheart. It's me. Just wanted to tell you how beautiful you are, and that I'm going to figure out how you can get Messenger IM, so it'll make it easier for you. Hi, my baby girl. I think these are the offlines. Did you get my offlines? Oh, God. Oh. Remove some zeros would be closer unless you count the money he stole from seniors. Yeah, that's the part that I was thinking. I was like, he is probably counting the money that he stole, because, like, not saying that owning your own business you don't make a lot of money, because, I mean, that's kind of what I'm planning on doing once I graduate from my tech school. But, like, it just doesn't seem. He biscuit talked on MySpace. It just doesn't seem like an accurate number, because, like, from what it sounds like is it wasn't even his business septic wise. Like, wasn't it like his brother's business? And then the construction business, I don't think it was even really a business, if I remember correctly. I remember Betty, yeah, he never owned the business, but Betty said that, I think that it was an ad in the paper for fixing something, like an appliance. And then he was like, I can build your house. So it wasn't even like a construction business. My ears won't stop burning, cyberbully. My precious princess, I just wanted to write you this little note to let you know how special you are with this poem I wrote. To make you smile makes me smile too. And to let you know I've been happy since the day I met you. Frog Lord, would be like, better my sacral hump or my dorsal fold. No, he and his brother may have both worked for the real owner. Yeah, like, he's such a fucking liar. Like, honestly, I could see, because I worked, I didn't work for construction stuff, but I worked for, like, a small business, that was owned by, like, a family friend, and they would make a pretty decent amount of money, and, I mean, they paid me pretty well. They paid me, like, $12 an hour when the minimum wage in Maryland was still, like, under $11, I think. So, it's possible to make a decent amount of money, but I don't think Lauren's making $100,000 to $150,000. he'd be making more than, like, my current household income, which would just be fucking weird. The only thing... Mrs. Amanda Lorne Armstrong. God Damn it. Let's see. To let you know, I've been happy since the day I met you. You're such a little angel in so many ways, and I love spending time with you each and every day. There's a difference in our age, which really makes it difficult, but that won't stop me from showing you my heart and what love is all about. So every day you think of me when you're at school. Just stop and remember that I'm thinking about you too. I wish for things with us to work, although it may take time. But for now, just remember that I'm yours and you're mine. I wrote that poem just for you, my precious princess. Mwah. I'm sure he had business cards made up to appear. What the fuck is wrong? Why not just make an actual business? God damn, Lorne. Like, it's not impossible for someone of his, like, caliber, like, before he was a sex offender. Ugh.
My cousin's neighbor, like, and it was like the guy who lived like a couple houses down was kind of friendly with the mom, but kind of disinterested, not really interested in them because they were kids. But like my cousin liked him, and he was, and like she was like 6 or 7 at the time, and he was like 28, which seemed like ancient back then. And she used to, his name began with the J, but I can't remember what it was, like Julius or something like that. I don't remember, but she used to say that was her boyfriend. That was like, that could be like what Lauren would, like, like that was her boyfriend. I don't think he ever called her his girlfriend, but she used to say, "Oh yeah, that's my man. My man is 28 years old. He's so cute." But like that could be like with what Lauren was doing, though, like simple and innocent like that.
You're saying the cousin was 6 or 7 when she was doing this.
Yeah, she was, like she had thought he was cute, and she used to call him her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's very, very common for a child to develop a crush on an adult, because that's the age when children are just coming into the very rudimentary aspects of recognizing the differences between men and women, and of course they are exploring these things, and we have all these social models from which they draw context, marriages, and things like this. No, that's not the same thing at all. This is what we're talking about here is a grown man who is preying on children because he's looking for an element of absolute control, and an emotional malleability that isn't generally found in
not
adults.
a frog, but a toad.
And that's a huge part of the appeal for most pedophiles. I have to say, I want to say something to you candidly, and I want you to try to
Candid, there's that word again.
What we can do.
It's a process to start a business. Lauren figure out that he needs to get a license considering the type, insurance, and tax I'll do, which I had to do to start my own business. That's true. Lauren, I imagine you could probably hire someone to help walk you through that process, though, right? Like, I know it requires a bit of effort, but I mean, Lauren, like I said, Lauren probably could have hired somebody to help him set that up. You can't climb some bowl lounge that you didn't ribbon earn. Oh my God.
For the last hour is that you've been trying to justify indefensible aspects of who Lauren is. And I have to tell you that...
Indispensable?
Indefensible.
Oh, indefensible.
Which is to say there's no... Indefensible, yeah. Which is to say there's no justification for them. There are no mitigating factors that you can parse into the situation to say this behavior is acceptable or understandable because of thus and such. And I have to be candid with you and tell you that it's an unhealthy dynamic.
Gotta be candid
on your part. You're trying everything you can to defend this man's behavior and rationalize it so that it's okay, because you are smart enough to understand that it needs to be okay in order for you to stay with him. You are smart has to understand that if he
Hearing Cyber Squeak and Babs laugh brings me a bit of joy, especially when you can make Squeak Bully laugh like Bab. Is that my new name, asshole? You're just gonna call me Cyber Bully and Squeak Bully.
is a pedophile, if he is an alcoholic, and if he is an abuser, those things aren't okay, and you can't stay with him. So you're trying to rationalize these things to make those things okay so that you can stay with him. And what I'm telling you is that it's ultimately your decision whether you stay with him or not. But you need to know that if you stay with him, you're staying with a man who has these issues that are not okay and are not good for you.
So, sadly, Gorilla Spawn, for some reason, like, I think it's like the first couple parts of this call, the Pope Sam audio is just really crackly. Like, it's crackly on my end too. It's just how the audio quality is, sadly. That's like the only downside to the start of these calls, is the audio is just real, it's a real piece of shit. Mrs. Cyber Squeak Bully! It's a major pain, saving all receipts, etc. It's the first year since I dissolved my business that I didn't have to write a huge check to the IRS. Yeah, I guess Lorne just wanted, like, the clout of having a business without actually having a business.
That,
And it sounds to me like you've got a lot of viable alternatives right around you. I want to press you again here, and I know we discussed this briefly earlier when Lauren was on the phone with us, but I want to ask you, what is it about him that you're fighting to preserve here? I mean, if you had to articulate in one or two sentences what it is that makes this relationship seem to be worth fighting for from your vantage point, I want to know what you would say to that.
Well, I mean, admittedly, and I do have to admit, every time I have ever.
I'm pretty sure there's a few calls out there where Lauren's crying about cyberbullies. Confirmed it was cyber. Oh, yep, it was me.
Calling him, he has picked up the phone, and I mean that's not to say that other. Say again.
Availability.
Well, I mean that's not to say that other friends of mine. I mean, cause, like, I have a lot of friends who do that, but I mean that's something I've noticed about him. And like I said, I will say other friends have done that, but he does that. I do enjoy having a good laugh with him. He does have a great sense of humor. I mean, he really does. I've said that many times, and I'll continue saying it. He's got a.
Oh, can you imagine that alternate timeline where we're all making fun of him because he had tax evasion and not because he was a predator?
Great sense of humor.
Well, I have a great sense of humor too. I mean, if that's your, I mean, there's got to be, go to a nightclub and catch a stand-up act and get it. I mean, a sense of humor is very important for women, especially. It's a huge attraction indicator for women. It's part of the female psychology, but that's not hard. I mean, to my way of thinking, that's not. Ask yourself this question: is that a solid foundation for a relationship? He's funny, makes you laugh. I can put up with him getting drunk and abusing me, and maybe looking at the little 13-year-old girl playing across the street because he makes me laugh. He doesn't, I can put up with him sleeping in again today while I went to work because he doesn't have a job, and I got to go bust my butt to make this mortgage payment this month. But he'll have a good joke for me when I come home. Does that make sense to you?
Well, you say it like that. Well,
when I
it just fucking hurts so fucking much.
when I say it like that, in other words, when I describe it exactly as it is, it doesn't add up, does it? It's not a very good reason to stay in a relationship, is it?
True story. Before Lorne was kicked off the internet, I got an email from him when I teased him about trying to sell stuff on eBay. I asked what made him important enough to sell criminal clothes. Oh God, did he respond, asshole? I hope he did.
Well.
And in the meantime, you've got all these suitors right around you, and no shortage of options. You're a beautiful girl. You're successful. You're the whole package. You've got everything going for you, and you can take your pick. Well, what on earth would keep you attached to this?
Roscoe is his only employee independent. He actually responded via eBay that he was the star of an NBC show and he was infamous. This is when he wanted to charge $100 for that he wanted $100 for that cassette tape of him being garbage. No, my God. Email purged that years ago and I lost my internet email for that. Oh, that's still really fucking funny. Man, I watched Minnie's and Scarlet Ebony's vids. What a fucking creep that Jordan is. Well, yeah, he's one of those weirdos.
Loser. I hope that doesn't offend you too much for me to say that. But I just got to call it like I see it, and I'm speaking off the record here. I'm not even charging you for this time, or charging your parents for this time. I'm just speaking to you as a friend now, and I'm here to be a friend to you. I can help you make the transition.
I do appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
it doesn't have to be all clinical. Like I said, I'm willing to continue to work with you and help you transition out of this even after our professional relationship.
He was so damn delusional that he was more important than drunk pedo. It was amazing. God, I bet his like caseworkers, like his probation officer and his therapist, they're just like, oh my God, I cannot wait for Lorne to come in to hear his weird bullshit now.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, so you say that, or not you, but in therapy, one of your guys' favorite terms to use is red flags. Now, I'm going to say this. Why, okay, I'll word it like this, okay? Let's just say that, Lorne is the world's, let's just say he were the world's biggest
Hi, Muffin Nugget.
Pedophile abuser.
I miss Sam Pendleton too. I don't know where he is.
Or verbally abusive. The verbally abusive is over. That but let's just say he was the world's biggest pedophile alcoholic.
Ramona, he kind of
changes.
He kind of is the world's biggest pedophile alcoholic.
He doesn't do those things anymore. Then is it bad if I'm with him?
I will say.
Audio is fading in and out bad. Hold on. See that?
I do say and am saying.
Okay. I'm getting with your mom to possibly do a round table with the women Jordan flirted with. My voice may finally be on the internet after all the times he asked to hear it, and it'll be talking bullshit.
I love saying candidly that if there came a time where you found yourself to be available, and somebody like Lorne, who had truly made a sea change in terms of his behavior, more importantly, in terms of his psychology, which is we're talking about behavior is the effect. What we're really concerned about is the cause. And this is why I say that it's not terribly significant to me if he goes 2 weeks or 3 months or a year without drinking, because all he's doing is modifying his behavior at that point. And what I'm concerned with is the cause behind it, the psychology, the root issues that compel him to the behavior. You know, what I would want.
I hope Ramona is doing well. I hope she is too. I don't know where she is in the community. I don't even know if she's in the community anymore, but I hope she's doing well.
For you is not a guy who can say no to the alcohol every day when it tempts him, but a guy who's not tempted by it in the first place. And it's possible for Lorne to get to that point in his life. I won't say it's terribly likely, only because the older we get, the more set in our ways we become, and the more established our psychology is, and the harder it is to change behavior or change the roots of behavior. More importantly, I would say that that's the best case scenario. That's the best version of Lorne that you can hope for. In the best case, in the best scenario, that's what you're getting with Lorne. And in that best case, you still have to contend with the fact that he's almost twice your age, that he doesn't have a job, that he doesn't have...
I just love how... I just love how Lorne... I'll just go out and get another job after I tell my boss to go fuck himself.
Have any money, which means no stability. And as we said before, it's not about the money, but it's about his ability to provide for you. It's about and to be self-sufficient and to not have to rely on you to make those provisions. You need to think about the possibility that you would want to have a family someday and have children with a guy who's going to be 50. And, these are all things that you have to consider.
But can't guys reproduce at like any age? I mean, look at Hugh Hefner.
Sure. You want a 70-year-old teaching your teenager how to drive? And all of that is to say nothing of the fact that
Lorne can barely
because
Lorne himself can barely drive. Some smart person contacted eBay saying he was trying to make money from a crime in eBay. Searched him in like a week. I think Shaman did a report on that. Make his bank account look like a piece of shit. Must suck here. Lorne thought he was going to be a world-famous country music sensation, and now he's famous for being the world's dumbest pedo, lol. Yeah, exactly.
The word candid is my favorite word.
Candid.
But also honest communication is my favorite kind of communication, more importantly. And I'm just going to be honest with you here. Given his predilection toward young girls, I would be concerned about having daughters. And I know that that's probably not easy for you to hear, but I've got to call it as it is, as the way that I see it. And that is, unfortunately, something we see a lot of. As in family counseling, I've seen that exact situation manifest itself numerous times, and I have colleagues who specialize in those kinds of cases because they're
what kind of what kind of ego thinks most of the internet knows about him being busted on TV? Lorne is such an idiot that he thinks that this small community is the whole internet. He doesn't seem to understand that the internet is used for other things besides chatting and making fun of Lorne, like how people look for jobs or how people just watch videos on YouTube. Like, god damn. Oh, come on.
Prevalent. To think of somebody who shows a clear predilection for children, somebody who has those tendencies, to think of that person having a child of their own. We both know that that sort of heinous abuse happens all the time in families, and that is a long-term concern that I would be a foremost concern for me.
Yeah, I cannot believe Lorne was just like, okay, I've got a song, and then proceeds to sing the creepiest fucking song for the context. Yeah, okay.
Now, what did he say in his conversation about his nieces that concerned you?
Well, there were a number of things. I've got my notes here. Let me grab my notepad here. These are the notes that I wrote for myself when I was, obviously I didn't read the whole thing, but fortunately we live in this age of technology where, if I see, he mentions his niece, one of his nieces almost immediately. So from there it was just a matter of
I have two nieces your age.
through the rest of the document to find all the places where he talks about his nieces. I didn't have to read the whole chat log to do it. But one of the first things he says to her is, he introduces himself to her, and she tells him that she's 13, and he says, well, you can talk to me. I'm safe to talk to. I have nieces your age. So right away, he's making the connection. He's drawing a correlation between her and his nieces, right? And it's only a few minutes later that he starts talking about how pretty she is. She has pictures on her chat profile, whatever it is, and he's able to see them. And right away, he starts talking about how pretty she is. So, what can we infer from those two things? There's a connection there.
I fucking love you and your mom streams, especially when Mini Syllables is there. The three of you really helped me with my depression. Oh, I'm glad I can help Euro. I really wanted to bribe him into singing in the year 2525 before. Yeah, I don't blame you for refusing to give him money. I wouldn't. Lorne told Winnie that he wouldn't cheat on her and wouldn't even slow dance with anyone else at the prom, I guess.
The connection is that he seems to associate beauty and attractiveness with youth and innocence, right? That's the first part. The second part is that he doesn't seem to be able to make the distinction between family members and people who he's not related to when observing those characteristics, those qualities that he's attracted to.
Now, would it be okay? But now, here's the thing. Like, let's say I was in this store, and I was talking to just a random stranger because I do that all the time. And let's say that she was a lady who was 60 years old, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, and she's like, yeah, I just turned 60. I'm like, oh, you're my mom's age. Like if something like that, like would that would be like, I have two nieces your age. Well, yeah, like me and the lady in the store. Well, yeah, my mom's your age. Like, just
sure.
Does anyone else just quote Lorne in situations? His phrases somewhat apply. I play games against people, and when they beat me, I tell them they ain't being considerate of my feelings. Oh god, I quote Lorne whenever it's fucking possible, and like nobody gets it, but it's great. Like my mom and my husband and my fiance, or not my god, my husband, my mom, and my best friend. I don't know why I goofed up that bad. Maybe Dan's my fiance. No, but like those three, they understand the Lornisms, but not many other people do.
In a vacuum, there's right. Simply remarking to one person, "Hey, you're the same age as my family member." No, that in itself is not troubling. What's troubling is that he makes a connection right away between Kayla and the niece, which is to say that he sees some parallels between the two, and he conflates them, right? He puts them all in the same set, in the same class in his mind. To then immediately proceed to advance on Kayla sexually indicates that this is the way. In other words, when he talks about his nieces in the same way that he talks about Kayla, what he's saying is, this is how I see 13-year-old girls.
And that girl was like his niece, right?
Right. No, the girl, the one he said was his girlfriend.
Well,
before.
the girl Kayla in the chat, he saw her like a niece, right?
Um, I don't know that I would frame it exactly that
I
way.
used to
I
quote
would
Lorne to
say
my apprentices at work.
rather that he saw his nieces the way he saw all other 13-year-old girls. He didn't make the distinction in terms of evaluating their appeal to him simply on the basis of whether they were familial. So he sees them all the same way, if that makes any sense. If they're young and pretty and, petite, whatever it is. I looked at some of the pictures of the decoy, and she's blonde and very petite and very girlish. I mean, she looks like a child. And this was one of the things that was particularly disturbing, is that this is not, some 13-year-olds look older. And, you know how that is. I mean, kids develop differently, and some 13. But this is one of the things that I read as I was doing
That's
research.
the thing, though. Like, you can't even say that, like, Lorne saw Kayla, thought she was older, and was like, oh, okay, I thought she was 18 because she matured faster. No. Fucking Kayla looked like a child. Like a child. Did you put your frog up because it's Wednesday? Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Yo, when we're done this Lorne stuff, I have to... So, the Wednesday My Dude frog, it's called a Budgets frog, and they are literally the biggest fucking crybabies of all the goddamn frogs. Like, you can breathe at them and they'll start screaming. It's really fucking funny.
That the producers of that television show that were in league with the people that...
I use TCAP quotes all the time with my brother. I'm dragging him to the community, whether he wants to or not.
Were pretending...
Yeah, So when I was dating Mr. Cybersqueak, like, I didn't tell him... I was in, like, I wasn't making content, but I was in the community. So, I think I was in the community starting in, like, 2016, around there. So, I was around, oh yeah, she did sound like a 6-year-old. So, I was in the community, and I waited quite a while before I was like, hey, Mr. Cybersqueak, you wanna hear about one of my hobbies? And bless him, he was just like, oh, okay, y'all catfish a predator. Alright, I guess.
It's an organization. And they deliberately always chose pictures that made it clear that were obvious, in which the subjects were obviously children. You see what I'm saying? So that there's no, well, she doesn't look 13, sometimes a 13-year-old doesn't look 13. But these pictures, these children, she looks like a child. There's no, it's not ambiguous at all. So, anyway, so I say all that to say that he seems to have some difficulty making the distinction. Well, this one is off limits because it's family. When he talks about his nieces, and he says, he wants to treat her. I'll put it like this: he wants to treat her the same way that he treats his niece.
I want to hear your frog. Kelpill, he's only made noise like what? Well, okay. He croaks when it rains, and it hasn't rained here in like 2 weeks, so he hasn't really been croaking. But he's only croaked at me in annoyance once, and I mean, I don't like go around like annoying my frog, so I haven't heard it since, but didn't scare him away. I doubt anything else will. Picture of pigtails. Kayla looks about 11. Yeah, it's I find converting works better when you have people experience it rather than explain it. Somehow, Mr. Cybersqueak was just like, okay. Like, I did a whole rundown of the situation. Like, I think I read him some of the chat log, and I think I don't remember if I played him the decoy calls or not, but I did give him quite a bit of context before I was just like, yeah, I'm obsessed with this.
He makes that clear. Hey, you're a good guy. You can talk to me. I have 2 nieces your age. You're safe with me. I'm going to treat you the same way I treat my nieces, right? Well, an hour later, he's sending pictures of his penis to her and asking her to masturbate for him.
Asking her what?
So, asking her to masturbate for him. No, he's hung up on the in the chat. There are several places where he wants her to masturbate for him. He teaches her how to do it, gives her step-by-step instructions on how to masturbate.
God,
I tell him how it feels.
I absolutely fucking hate that part of the chat log.
That sort of thing, and then he instructs her to pretend that her fingers are his penis and to. So
I'm gonna work on that after my job ended, but been taking care of mom 24/7 the last few weeks. I hope your mom gets better, asshole. I've had to take care of a family member 24/7 before, and it's extremely exhausting. So I hope that situation gets better for you.
Imagine that her fingers are his penis and that sort of thing. You know, this is what I mean, if you didn't know these things, then you need to know them. And these are the kinds of things I'm talking about. These kinds of things are the reason why your parents are so concerned, and why your brothers are concerned, and all your family members, and why I'm concerned for you. And there's no defense for any of these things. I think you can agree with that. That there are no circumstances that he can point to that would make you say, oh, well, then it's understandable that you sent pictures of your penis to this girl because you had this problem or you had that problem.
Well, I mean, my whole thing was, like, I told myself 2 things about that.
I'd ask you to help, but you might bully her. I'm gonna bully your mom. I just play calls and people have questions, obviously. I hope Mini Syllables turns up. She's my personal hero read now. I don't know what she's up to. She's probably at work, if I had to guess. I don't know too much about Mini Syllables' life, but
is that okay? Well, he did the whole thing with the 13-year-old because he was really lonely, and he had blocked out her age. Like, he had told himself that she was, like 18 or something. And
yeah,
also,
we don't see that. We don't see that in the chat log at all. He very clearly was attracted to her because of her age, and that was a point of attraction for him.
But, like, my question is, like, why would he be attracted to her? Like, okay, so she's 13. Why would he be attracted to her? But then also, like, I know he had liked a girl when he was in his 20s. And also, like, he likes me, and I'm around that girl's age that he had liked. So, I mean, like, why would he like adult women as well?
Well, there are a lot of things to say about that. In the first place, relatively few pedophiles are exclusively attracted to children. There's something about the child, a child that is compelling, and there are lots of reasons for that. I think I can speak with some.
Is Lorne haunting this call on mute? I think he is. I know he pops back in at some point. Big ups to my brother who takes care of me with my chronic health issues. I wouldn't be able to upload content without him. Shout out to James.
Insight to Lawrence, but very
have
rarely
him hop back in here.
Most pedophiles aren't exclusively attracted to children, so there's a spectrum there. The other thing is that a lot of people who struggle with pedophilia know that it's wrong, or at the very least know that it's socially taboo, so they try to have relationships with, a lot of the show, in the TV show that he got, the Sting was on, that he was arrested on, a lot of the people, the men who showed up to these stings were married with families. Some of them married because it's a social convention, because they are trying to have a normal life, whatever else. Some of them just because pedophilia is not always an exclusive preference, to say that if somebody's attracted to children, they can't also be attracted to adults. That makes sense?
can he get that, like, can he, so since he's in therapy, can he now be taught to think straight and properly?
Hi, James. My literal asshole. Exactly. Thanks, James, for taking care of our precious little Euro.
It's possible. I'll say that it's possible. I'll say that Lorne doesn't strike me, and based on what I had seen of him before, and based on the conversation that I had with him tonight, Lorne doesn't strike me as someone who's tremendously self-aware or tremendously capable of deep or complex thought. And I will say that a person who's working to overcome those appetites, those sexual appetites, it takes a tremendous amount of self-awareness and humility. It doesn't seem to be Lorne's strong suit at all. In fact, what I hear from him is a consistent tendency to want to deflect responsibility for his actions.
I'm an RSO myself. I make my mom do all my chatting sitting in front of me since I'm banned from the internet. God damn it, Gorilla Spawn.
He'll tell you that, yeah, I did thus and such, and I take responsibility for it, but there's always a but. But you don't know the whole story, he said to me. And you said something to me in the section that we did with your parents the other day to the effect of he will sometimes, he almost always has a reason, some circumstance in his life that compelled him to do the things that he did.
Well, I do want to say this, and I mean, I don't know if you're going to give credence to this, but I do want to say when, and I hope you wouldn't mind me saying this, but when it comes to the whole TV show thing that you found out about in the chat and everything. And by the way, I don't know if my parents even know that there is a chat log. Do they know, and have they read it?
We discussed it. I don't know that they've read it. I did refer them to it. I mean, I told them where they can find it.
Oh, God.
Your mother seemed to be particularly interested in getting a hold. She said, well, she seemed to have an ambivalence toward it, which is to say that she was interested in seeing it, but I warned her that it is very graphic and very disturbing at points. And but I don't know that they've seen it. I can ask when I speak with them tomorrow, but that may be something you want to discuss with them. It sounds to me like you may want to spend some more time with the chat log yourself.
I don't want to know anything that it says. I'm like, I don't think I should
just
read it.
use your burn phone. We gotta go out and buy a burn phone.
Know those things, but I think you need to know those things, and I think what you need supersedes what you want. It's not comfortable, it's not fun, but it's something that you need to know. You need to know for your sake. You need to know for
Bluetooth. Your giant Wendy's Bluetooth headset.
In his purview, these are things that, this is, you've got to stop trying to deny the existence of these things. This is a troubling tendency that I'm observing in you, which is that you just don't want to look at the things that make you uncomfortable. And I'm telling you that that's very unhealthy. And that is always the nexus for a disaster in terms of when you're denying some very significant aspect of the person that you're linked with romantically.
Lawrence Bluetooth headset is as best tooth he has. Oh my God.
An association with no good can yield from doing that. You've got to face the truth in all of its uncomfortable detail and without a filter. It's the only way.
Well, what was told to me, and I accept this, I think, is okay. So right before the 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 whole TV thing and whatnot, and I hope you wouldn't mind me telling you this, but I mean, I just want you to understand like where I'm coming from. So like what was told to me was right before that, was that had he had lived in no, I think you already know where he lives. He lives in Maine. So he had lived in Maine, surrounded by his family prior to this. And then what happened is his family used him. I think there was something about
No, his
like
family used him in mac and cheese. Oh, they're gonna talk about the mac and cheese.
he had done some work, and like his sister was supposed to like give him some mac and cheese or something, and she didn't. And then there was like something he was supposed to get like meatballs, and he didn't. And
Okay.
then there was. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm trying to think of what else it was because I'm vegan. I don't eat this stuff unless it's vegan versions of it. But there was some kind of egg or something like that he was supposed to get for lending some money, and he didn't. And so his siblings had used him, and so then
I borrowed money from him, and I told him I'd give him macaroni and meatballs, and I didn't. And this is the nexus of his issues.
I love Sam Pendleton's reaction. So he didn't have mac and cheese and meatballs, and that's why he's like this?
Yes.
He's blaming his issues on macaroni and meatballs.
Well, it was from what he told me. It was the principle of the thing that he was hurt that he was used, and it was the principle of the thing that people who he loved.
Okay, now let me ask you this: what behavior does that justify? Let's say
what happened is he had said that now he had lent out so much money and everything, and now that he met this girl in the chat room, it was someone who was interested in him for reasons other than his money.
Kayla would have given him all the mac and cheese and meatballs. If I wear the headset during my cooking show, the girls, at least the young ones, will think I'm badass.
So that's how.
Ramona, you can't. So, his justification for trying to rape a 13.
Has Lorne made any calls since prison? So, Raptor Bacon, if you go to his channel, he's called Lorne a couple times. I don't, in terms of like a long-term catfish, I don't think there is one. I mean, if there is, it's very well hidden and they're just gonna release it all at once or something, but I don't think there. Yeah, I was gonna say Raptor Bacon is probably the only real option when it comes to the cawlls.
Girl, and I say that because when an adult pursues a sexual liaison with a child, it meets the legal definition of rape. Legally, he tried to rape a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, that word's so strong. That word is so strong.
I'm going to keep using it because you need to hear it that way. That's what happened.
Like, when I think of rape, I think of violence, and he's always proclaimed that he's not violent.
Well, there are different kinds of violence. Manipulating an impressionable child who doesn't have the mental faculties to recognize and resist that manipulation constitutes mental violence. There are different ways, just in the same way that when he gets on the phone with you and calls you a bitch and yells at you, that's mental violence. That's from the recording that I heard. Remember, we talked about the recording that somebody sent your mother. That's how we talked about that earlier. Yeah, so
I didn't know that I did because there have been times when he's called me other things, but not that one because that word.
Like what? It doesn't matter. It's immaterial. The point that I'm making is
I was just gonna say it's upsetting to me that my mom knows about that because back when I was like 15. When I was 15, I had a boyfriend call me a bitch, and she just like went crazy and.
I can tell you're a therapist. Yeah, Penelope, apparently, like, the newest thing with Lorne is, he has chickens now. I don't know why he has chickens. I don't know what he's planning to do with them, but he's got chickens.
Like never forgot it, and it was so disturbing to her.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you don't call a woman to my mom.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't forget it. If somebody called my daughter that at 15 or 25 or any other age, I wouldn't forget it either. And I certainly wouldn't forgive it under any circumstances, for any reason. But the point that I'm making in bringing it up here is that that is a form of violence against you. That's a mental violence. It's verbal violence. It's abuse, right? When a 37-year-old man emotionally manipulates a 13-year-old girl into having sex with him, he is doing violence to her, mental violence. And it's the kind of thing that can destroy the child for the rest of her life.
Who's taking a pee?
The most damaging things you can do to a child is compel them into sexuality before they're prepared for it. And especially under the circumstances that he did it. That is violence. So when he tells you that he hasn't been violent, he's lying. He may not understand that it's violence, but it is. And it meets the legal definition of rape, as I said, for those reasons. It's what we call statutory rape. There's a statute, which is a directive that outlines the parameters of what rape is and is not. And Lorne's behavior falls into that classification of attempted statutory rape. He didn't do it, so there was no 15-year-old girl.
He didn't even mean to do it.
But that was his intent. So he intended to commit this violence, this mental violence. And, of course, we would say that that's a form of physical violence as well, had he committed the physical act for the same reason. It's just the physical is just an extension of the mental violence that he'd already committed against her. So, to bring that back to, I forget just now exactly what we were talking about before we got off on the issue of rape. But
well,
that
I
is,
have two questions that I just thought of. Say again?
Sure. I was just going to finish my thought from earlier.
The simp lord is listening.
Look, there is no justification for what he did. Okay? But this macaroni and meatballs thing is an incredibly weak attempt to justify it. If he had an excuse like, my parents abused me and I never developed
That's the
a healthy
thing
understanding.
that, like, I don't... The whole, like, thing that Lorne was molested by his brothers, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other about it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that somebody's lying about being, like, sexually abused. However, I do find it odd that that's the thing that, like, Lorne doesn't use that, honestly. Like, the whole macaroni and meatballs is what he decides to use, not his past abuse, which I find really puzzling.
What sex is, and that's why I like children, right? That's a common one. That's one that a lot of pedophiles use. That's not a justifiable, an adequate defense for the action. But it at least shows something, right? Saying that the reason that he tried to rape a 13-year-old girl.
Wow, somebody was peeing.
I think in Kentucky, because years before, somebody said they were going to give him macaroni and meatballs and then they didn't. That is flimsy. That is ethereal. That has no. That's weak. That's weakness upon weakness, and I hope that you can see through that. Can you? I mean, I understand that it's hard for you to look at this situation objectively because you feel like you have some connection to this person, but I hope you can see, just if you can separate yourself from your position and from your relation to the situation for a second and just see objectively what a weak defense that is. What if, do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yes.
Okay. You have a niece?
Yes.
Okay. How old?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over, but yes, I have
I have two
two. They
nieces
are
your
both
age. That's actually the end of this call. So I think I'm going to end it here because I've been streaming for about 2 hours now, and I do have to get ready for school in a little bit. So I translate the eggs, balls, cheese explanation into Lorne promised the world to his siblings, con them out of all their money at the same time, just after Betty and split town. Yeah, Lorne, you really can't believe Lorne's explanations, or like if there is a grain of truth to them, they're greatly exaggerated to the point that it kind of defeats the original explanation. Um, he's just, he's dumb. Oh, right, I gotta show the frog. Hold on. I do gotta show the frog. Let me find a good one. Alright, let's see. Budgets, frog. I have and he promised them foodstuffs. I have a couple that are my faves. Hold on. No. Don't want to spoil it yet. There's that one, and then let me find one more. Let's see. Alright, here's this guy. They are so ugly, but they're kind of cute in a weird way. Alright, let's see. Window capture. So here's this guy. All he did was touch it. He touched it gently. And it started screaming. Alright, let me pull up the other one. I'm a very big fan of this one. I love that one. One more time. Oh, God. I don't know why they do that. Like, they barely touched that man. And he was like, no, it's time to scream. Oh, God. Yeah, so whatever you think of the It Is Wednesday, my dude, just think of that little dude just screaming his little head off. They... That's the thing, though, like, I know that frogs, they'll scream when they get stressed out, but, like, fucking, these things... One dude had calluses on his hands like Lorne the frog thought he was in fact Lorne. No, but like frogs have different ways of handling being touched and stuff like that. Like my frog, he'll just get really puffy. But it's like every single Budget's frog, they will just scream at just being breathed on. I don't know why they do that, but they just fucking scream. So with that, I think I'm going to sign off for now. I might be appearing in another stream today, possibly, maybe. That's up for that's if I get home from school at a decent hour. Because last night I got home at like 11 p.m. and I was just like, ugh. So if I can get home at a decent hour, I might be in another live stream tonight. So I'll possibly see you guys then. Bye.